Students, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you might be okay in your respective homes. From 11th of November, it is for class 10th. The examinations are being conducted by board, and for class 12th, it's from 12th of November. So in these days, you must put extra efforts. You must do extra hard work to crack these examinations with nice percentage of marks. Unfortunate part of the story is that you are not physically in schools, you are virtually connected to your teachers, and this virtual mode can't be the substitute for the actual mode of teaching. But the COVID 19 pandemic caused schools closed, or we can say made schools shut, due to which and digital platform was arranged for you, or this virtual mode was arranged for you, and finally this mode facilitated you to the greater extent. Dear students, now there is a 40% concession. You can leave some chapters where you have no command, but you have to keep in the mind the marks weightage of each chapter. And 60% marks you have to attempt. If you attempt 60 out of 60, you will proportionately get 100. Yes, students, yesterday a student called me to make me learn the dialogue writing that is often asked in the board examination of class 12th and 10th. Their students' dialogue simply refers to talking or its conversation or act of conversation or act of discussion. In most board exams, that's outer dialogue is asked, that is the where two characters are involved and the conversation between the two starts, and you have to create the dialogue or you have to complete the dialogue. Keep in mind, you have either to create dialogue or you have to complete it. Sometimes the dialogue is given there, you have to complete the dialogue, and sometimes you have to create the dialogue. For example, sometimes you are asked in the board exams to create a dialogue between a teacher and a student, or between a bus conductor and a passenger, or a shopkeeper between and a shopkeeper or a customer. So if there is a completion of dialogue, complete the dialogue. You are there. One is given one character's answer, or we may say his reply is given, and you have to complete the reply of the first one. That's the completion, so that you can complete that conversation. So simply you have to, there is a conversation or discussion between two, you have to complete that discussion or conversation by your own words, by but appropriate words, that should be, or appropriate sentence that should be. But if the creation of the dialogue is asked, so you have to keep in the mind that first one character is used, then the second character is used. First one character gets involved, then the second character gets involved. For example, if there is a dialogue between a teacher and a student, how you can create the dialogue, or we can say the dialogue commences somewhere and it culminates somewhere. The conversation starts somewhere and conversation culminates somewhere. So there is the beginning of dialogue and there is also the end of the dialogue. For example, between a student and a teacher, how you create a dialogue. The student, may I come in, sir? Teacher, yes, you can come in. You may come in. Teacher, why are you late? Student, sir, I am late because my bus reached late at my bus stop. Teacher, but you missed a one class. Student, yes, sir, that is loss. Teacher, do ask your concerned teacher for the loss. Student, yes, sir, I will request him to teach me at the recess in this lunch break. Teacher, it is fine, but from tomorrow you should come well in time. Student, yes, sir, from tomorrow I shall come well in time. Then teacher, uh, we started the class at 10:30 a.m., but it is now 11 a.m. So I am repeating things for you. Student, sir, this is the fine. You are repeating the things. Teacher, but from tomorrow you must come well in time. Student, yes, sir. From tomorrow I will keep myself mm, always ready if the bus comes late by pedestrian walking. Dear student, this is how we can complete a dialogue, how can we can create a dialogue between a teacher and a student, and sometimes it's asked to create a dialogue between a bus conductor and a passenger, and sometimes it's asked to create a dialogue between a customer and a shopkeeper, and sometimes you are asked to complete dialogue between a patient and a doctor. So simply you have to keep in the mind that the dialogue is a conversation, and outer dialogue is asked in the board examination where two characters are mostly used. First one character and then second character, but the dialogue means the talking, or it means the conversation, or it means the discussion. It starts somewhere and culminates at somewhere. You have to keep in the mind that dialogue start somewhere, it end somewhere. In case you have to create dialogue, in case you have to complete the dialogue between the two, if the dialogue is given, it is so simple. You have to find out the appropriate words that will, or some sentences that will the complete dialogue between the two. There a and b is given. If b is given, you have to write down in a. If a is given, you have to write down in b. This is how you can complete the dialogue between the two, and you will fetch easily 4 or 5 marks, whatever the percentage of the marks would be there. Dear students, remember, dialogue is a conversation between two, or a discussion between two, or act of conversation between the two. In outer dialogue, characters are involved. First one character and then second character. Dialogue somewhere gets started, and in the end it culminates. So it has beginning as well as ending. When you start discussion, you should start it with a formal way, and it should get culminated somewhere, because there often in conversation there is starting and there is also a ending. And in board examinations, you are asked to create a dialogue between two, or you are asked to complete the dialogue between two. In creating dialogue, you can easily create first one character, then second character, then first character, then second character. And if there is a compilation, you can complete this dialogue by the appropriate words or sentences. Dear students, hope you have grasped this concept. In case of any query or confusion that may strike your mind after watching this video, you can call me on 7006671106 or WhatsApp me on the same number. And when you post your query or confusion by any means, or forward your query or confused by any means by WhatsApping or by calling, within short duration of time, your query or confusion shall be cleared. Dear students, I am not English teacher at all. I am shouldering the task of teaching English in absence of the English teacher. Better is to learn these things from English as teacher, and also see these things on your available English grammar book, so that you will grasp the things well. Dear students, work hard. My prayers are with you. And when you work hard, you can cross every barrier. These examinations are meager things. Thanks. Be balanced.